on a Monday night hyped as the biggest of all time, with both companies looking to start the new year with two of the biggest TV shows in their history. WCW went on the air first with an all-time record gate at the Georgia Dome in front of over 40,000 people in its home base of Atlanta, set to be headlined by the Starrcade '98 Goldberg vs. Nash rematch, with the last month of angles culminating on the night, as well as Hulk Hogan making his TV return for a final farewell appearance and Ric Flair's first night as the new WCW president. Flair along with family and the Horsemen arrived in the stadium 20 minutes into the first hour, coming out with Flair addressing the crowd on the new era, saying that for 5 years a tyrant and Eric Bischoff has run over the company, calling him out to the ring to announce that since Eric took Flair down from the main event to the opening match, Eric is going back down to his original role as an announcer, before reinstating Randy Anderson and welcoming Randy Savage back to the company, closing the promo announcing a Flair vs. Hennig and Windham tag match for the sold-out pay-per-view. WCW's big angle of the night started next as 2 minutes from the top of the hour, Bill Goldberg was shown backstage with cops looking to arrest him for an unknown allegation, setting up the show-long angle with Nitro taking a commercial break just when crossing over to 9 p.m. As Goldberg was getting arrested on TNT, Vince McMahon and the corporation came out to open Raw, interrupting a Shawn Michaels video package with him warning him not to show up tonight after getting fired last week. Vince said that Michaels won't be here and everyone involved in Shane getting attacked by Mankind will be punished, just as Shawn was shown entering the building coming out with backup alongside DX. Michaels told Vince that he can't fire him as he has an ironclad contract, making his first decision back by putting McMahon as number 2 in the Rumble to guarantee an Austin vs. McMahon clash in the match, ending the segment telling Vince that he has a stone-cold surprise for him to be revealed later tonight. With all the hype heading into Monday night, the WWF went with an unusual strategy to counter the expected boosted interest, headlined by the Goldberg-Nash title match, giving away the result of the main event with Foley winning the title on the company website before the show went on the air, with Raw with all the buzz surrounding both shows opening huge with a 5.9 rating, not only the highest rated opening segment but close to an all-time record overall. With Goldberg taken out to the police station near the stadium, Hollywood Hogan showed up making his TV return for the first time since November 16 for his promoted farewell appearance, with Nash coming out confronting him outside and the status of the title match unknown, as the first quarter, which featured the Goldberg follow-up with Hogan and Nash in mostly a Chris Jericho vs. Perry Saturn match, opened with a 4.4 rating, which combined with Raw's 5.9 making it the biggest opening audience in history. Raw's second quarter started with a Shamrock vs. Blackman match and a Shamrock vs. Billy Gunn backstage brawl, with Mankind coming out for a promo moments later. Foley asked for a title shot at the Rumble pay-per-view before calling out Vince McMahon for the answer. At the same time, Goldberg arrived at the police station with the allegations against him revealed, as Elizabeth claiming that he's stalking her at various locations, followed by an Eddie Guerrero LWO skit, which would also be Eddie's final appearance for the foreseeable future, with him involved in a major car accident 3 days earlier on New Year's Day, with Nitro maintaining a 4.4 rating in the second quarter. Vince came out telling Foley that he doesn't deserve a title shot as he hasn't paid his dues, saying that Foley might have had his shot if he listened to him instead of sacrificing his body for the pop of the crowd, giving him the opportunity to enter the Rumble by booking him against Triple H for tonight with Shane as special referee, with the massive additional interest on the night picking up as the quarter which featured the McMahon-Mankind segment followed by an Henry vs. Goldust match, jumped over 500,000 viewers to a 6 rating, the joint highest rated opposed quarter in Raw history. While Raw picked up 2 all-time record levels, it didn't come at Nitro's expense as WCW also gained at the same time to a 4.5 rating for a second update from Goldberg and a cruiserweight tag match going 8 minutes. With the Monday Night Wrestling viewership about to reach new heights with less sports competition to start the year, WCW also had every major player about to come back with Randy Savage and Sting while not appearing on camera at the Georgia Dome, with them set to return to TV programs over the next 2 months. Nash came out next to address the status of the Goldberg match, putting the blame on Hogan for getting him arrested just as he arrived, saying that he knows for a fact that Hogan is still under contract and asking Flair to book the match for tonight, telling him that after he goes through Hogan at the end of the night it's gonna be Goldberg and him in the ring for the title. Flair came out saying that he knows Hogan is pulling the strings behind the Goldberg allegations, telling him that he's not gonna just dance off to Hollywood and make a movie after this, booking him tonight as Goldberg's replacement if he can't get there in time to set up the first ever Nash vs. Hogan match. WCW continued with the loaded star power quarter which jumped over 600,000 viewers to a show-high 5.1 rating as Hogan was out next for the response promo, saying that he was supposed to make his final appearance tonight but Goldberg's actions forced him back, accepting Nash's challenge, saying that he owes his fans one more retirement match and he's gonna beat Nash and retire with the belt. With Tony taking shots at WWF's tape draw show throughout the night, things were taken to the next level just as Hogan was walking out of the ring, as under Eric Bischoff's instruction, Tony told viewers that Mick Foley is gonna win the WWF title on Raw tonight in one of the most talked about moments in Monday Night War's history. At the same time, Mick Foley himself was on TV going 3 minutes against Triple H to start Raw's second hour, ending up with Shane fast counting him out to take him out of the Rumble match, setting up the post-match angle with Mankind threatening to break Shane's shoulder unless Vince gives him a title shot tonight, officially booking an ODQ Rock vs. Mankind title match for the main event, as Raw's top-of-the-hour quarter, which came minutes after the first Foley title win spoiler and also featured a D'Lo vs. Edge match, picked up over 600,000 viewers to a 5.7 rating, but the key point to note is that the viewers' gain was the usual Raw crossover segment bump and not a direct turnover of WCW viewers, as Nitro maintained a 5.1 rating before and after the announcement. Scott Steiner vs. Conan going 4 minutes opened Nitro's third hour with a 5.1 rating, as with the first spoiler of the Foley title win taking place at 9:58 p.m. 10 minutes later, Tony told viewers about the title change for the second time at 10:08 while continuing to take shots at Raw for being taped every other week. The Foley title win spoilers turned into a big topic of conversation during the week and for years to come. But putting the story into context, when numbers came out, both Foley title mentions did not lead to any unusual turnover of viewers from WCW to the WWF at any point for the rest of the broadcast on the night, as while Raw gained over 600,000 viewers to a 5.7 rating in the minutes following the first mention. WCW with the Steiner vs. Conan match maintained WCW's entire prior audience of a 5.1 rating. The next quarter saw WCW drop around 500,000 viewers to a 4.7 rating for the Bigelow vs. Wrath match, but that was more in line with the usual pattern of numbers after the top of the hour segment, while adding to that Raw which featured McMahon punishing Patterson and Briscoe by putting them in a handicap match against Kane, maintained the previous 5.7 rating without any unusual bump of viewers. While WCW took 2 commercial breaks in the next quarter between 10:30 to 45 with the start of Page vs. Adams in the middle, Raw had a Wild Road Dogg vs. Al Snow hardcore title match, brawling all over the building including the backstage area before going outside in Worcester to wrestle in the snow for the finish, taking the division to the next level, setting the bar high for future hardcore matches, as after hovering around record levels since the start of the show, the quarter featuring the 9-minute Snow vs. Road Dogg match jumped to a peak 6.2 rating, the highest rated opposed segment in Raw history. Raw had another major angle just before the main event with DX double-crossing Shawn Michaels as he was about to leave the building with the wrong car keys, setting up McMahon's promise with the corporation attacking Michaels to leave him laying on the car in the snow with blood all over him, writing him off TV with him set for an upcoming back surgery which will rule out any possibility of him potentially returning to the ring at WrestleMania 15 like previously rumored. Mankind and Rock made their entrances at 10:50 p.m. with DX and the corporation at ringside, kicking off the match at 10:53 doing a 5.9 rating for the first 7.5 minutes of the 9-minute match. Nitro's final quarter saw the end of the Page-Adams match in the setup for the big angle of the night with Goldberg getting the word that all charges were dropped, driving back to the Georgia Dome with Hogan and Nash about to come out. With WWF Creative taking detailed storytelling on wrestling television to the next level with the build to the Survivor Series swerve, WCW responded back in the execution of the lead-up to tonight's show-long angle with subtle teasers for what's to come all over the last month of TV and during the night, starting with Hogan faking retirement and the reuniting of the Outsiders, to Steiner and Bagwell recruiting Luger behind Conan's back, Elizabeth framing Goldberg and constantly looking at the watch to see if enough time had passed, and Nash and Hogan playing Flair into booking the match. Hogan along with Steiner made his entrance at 10:55, with Nash following before signaling to the back, bringing out Scott Hall in a Wolfpack shirt to a huge pop from the crowd. With the clock now at 10:58 p.m., Jerry Lawler on Raw took a shot back on the live commentary on post-production saying that their main event won't start 2 minutes from the top of the hour. A minute into Raw's overrun with both factions brawling, Steve Austin made his TV return for the first time in almost a month to one of the biggest pops in history, laying out Rock with Mankind winning the title to another huge reaction to and one of the most memorable matches and moments in wrestling TV history, with Mick Foley closing the last 3 minutes of the broadcast in the post-match celebration with DX against the advertised Nash-Hogan match, as Raw overall shattered every record in Monday Night War's history with a massive 5.8 rating. While the Raw main event finish was going on, Hogan and Nash were in the ring face-to-face for the first time in an official match after over a year of build-up, setting up the reveal of the reformation of the original NWO to lead to 40,000 people reacting in shock to what's happening in the ring. A minute later at 11:01, almost at the exact moment Steve Austin came out on Raw, Bill Goldberg ran out to a massive reaction to take on the new NWO, ending up with Luger also turning heel to set up the NWO beatdown to close the show, with the WCW overrun for the Hogan-Nash match and post-match Goldberg vs NWO angle, leading to one of the biggest viewership spikes in history, jumping over 2.1 million viewers to a big 6.5 rating, while Raw dropped to a 5.1, as on the night hyped and delivered to set every record in history. The biggest one came in the overrun as the combined audience peaked huge with around 14 million viewers to start 1999, with the industry hotter than ever.